P.A.T. Let you tell it. Turn up. Go. 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 Let you tell it. You the hottest rapper in the game. You got a lot of fame and your claim made the change. Let you tell it. You the man who's selling all the work. Water whipping in the kitchen. You be putting in that work. Let you tell it. The fool ain't the one who been telling. Commit a felony in 3 days. You be feeling. Let you tell it though. No, I can't let you tell it, no. Let you tell it, no.
Right now you listen to the Urban Renaissance Podcast. I'm your host, P.A.T. Today's episode is going to be about fitness, man, and I brought my boy Jay Warren in. He's going to come drop some knowledge on it. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is your boy P.A.T. and welcome to the Urban Renaissance Podcast. Today my guest is Jay Warren. He's also my personal trainer, and you can say the city's personal trainer. I let him start by introducing himself and letting him tell you where you can find him at before we get into this interview.
What up, dog? This is Jay Warren of Jay Warren Athletics. Like Pat said, I'm his personal trainer. Been knowing him for almost about a year now. I've been in Fort Worth for about 8 years. Most definitely have a large client base. We have clients all over Fort Worth, Dallas, Texas. We got clients on the East Coast, West Coast. Heck, we got two clients in Alaska. So you need help, any kind of fitness tips whatsoever, please feel free to get a hold of me. You can contact me at my Instagram at IamJWarren. That's IamJWarren. Or you can email me at jwarrenathletics@gmail.com.
All right, so first off, I want to start with trying to figure out, like, what is your story? Like, what made you get into personal training, or rather, what made you get into fitness? What was the origin of how this started?
Basically, after I got out the military, I guess I can call myself a full-time alcoholic. I had to stay liquored up, and my daughter rubbed on my belly one day and told me, "Daddy, I was fat, even though I only weighed about 125 pounds." And, after that, it's been a wrap, a lot of trial and error. Obviously, I went to school, got certified as a personal trainer. Started personal training at Metroflex Fort Worth back in 2009, and it's been on and popping ever since.
Cool. Yeah. We appreciate your service. Me being a veteran myself, an Air Force veteran, and doing this music stuff. One day I was sitting around my engineer campaign, and we were in the studio, and he was looking at me. He was like, "Man, you getting fat." So I was like, man, I gotta get in shape, man. So my boy Quan had told me about this guy that he used to work out with, and that he had knew from back when he was working out, because I would be out of town and I was going off into the service or whatever. So I'd come back in town. I was like, man, you getting big, man. And he told me. So some years later, when I felt like I was getting out of shape, I asked him again to bring up the person that was getting him into shape, and he told me it was you. So then I made that contact to you, and we've been working for about a year now.
Quan was one of my first clients. Quan was really like one of my first clients.
Okay. Shout out to my boy Quan for starting the dream. As far as your schooling went, when you went to learn and get certified and everything, what was that journey like?
Honestly, man, it's so easy to get certified as a personal trainer. That's why I think personal training is so watered down, because the first thing people will say is, I'm a certified personal trainer. Well, you know what? You can buy the books online, study them, take the test, and you know, next thing you know, you a certified personal trainer. You know, to which in part I was one of those people. But to further educate myself, what I did was I started working with other personal trainers, learning different styles, different techniques. One person that I studied is the Strength Sensei, and also another guy named Josh Bryant. Josh Bryant is actually out of Metroflex Arlington, and the guy is he's a whiz. Jay Moore was another guy that I worked with, studied under him for about a year. But then, as far as the training, that was the easy part. I wanted to learn about the nutrition. So I ended up having to go back to school for dietetics. So I went back to school for 2 years, finished that program up, worked in a hospital for about 2 weeks, and I realized that wasn't for me. I need to work for myself. I just, and I've just always been one of those people. I'm not one of those people that like to just sit and wait around and wait for someone to tell me what to do. I just like to go, and that's why, personal training works so well for me, because I'm leading people, but I'm leading people in a good direction. My whole thing is about changing lives, not only physically, but mentally, because, just like if the mind tells the body what to do, understand the body can tell the mind what to do as well. So you make your body strong, you make your mind strong. You make your mind strong, you make your body strong. It goes both ways, So it's just a blessing being able to help change other people's lives, and also in perspectives and how they see things, especially with women, man. And I have a lot of female clients, and a lot of them come in with very little confidence or self-esteem. And next thing you know, they got so much confidence and self-esteem, not because the body banging, the bodies do be banging, but hey, yeah, but they do, but mentally they be there,
Yeah. I know one time I seen one of your female clients for the first time. I can't remember who it was. I forgot. And I was just working out. I was chilling. I had a chick at the time, but I seen her and I was like, damn. But you had told me, you was like, I was like, man, she looked good. She's in shape, but she still looked like a woman. And I remember you was telling me you took pride in, the women that you do train, they still feminine. You ain't gotta walking around here looking like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right.
or for the black ones, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right. And that's another thing, I really take pride in training females, because believe it or not, they're stronger than men. They have a higher pain tolerance than men do. Okay. So yeah, so a lot of people don't understand, to me, it's a beautiful thing seeing a woman train and seeing her body change, and to see her go through that kind of pain, and they don't whine, they don't cry, they just, they may cry, but they keep on doing the work. You know what I mean? Sure. They may cry, but they keep on doing the work. And that's what makes it beautiful, man. Because obviously we know that women give birth, but it's one thing to see a woman give birth, but it's another thing to see a woman actually change her body and to handle that kind of pain and to go through that type of torture, and just seeing how mentally strong that they really are. And that's a beautiful thing, and another reason why I enjoy doing what I do.
Awesome. What's up, man? It's your boy P.A.T. If you want to stay in touch with the show, man, come visit me at www.urpat.net. That's the letter U, the letter R, PAT.net. Awesome, amen to that. With the dietetic, which I know that entails on eating right, or supposedly eating right, which is one of the things that I don't do, but I'm going to start doing. I like beer too much. I drink beer. Y'all know I be on that Hennessy. I'm from the South. I was born in Germany, but I'm from the South. And my mom is from Virginia, and my dad is from South Dallas, Terrell, Texas as well. You know, I got roots in South Dallas and Terrell, and we eat soul food like a motherfucker. So I have problems with the dietetics. But as far as the dietetics goes, what are some of your thoughts when it comes to dietetics and eating properly?
You know, when it comes to eating properly, it most definitely don't happen overnight. You know, especially in our culture, in the black culture, it's always, that's why we lead in high blood pressure, diabetes, things of that nature. But a lot of that just comes from excessive eating. We like to eat a lot of carbs. Like people try to point the finger at because we like soul food and we like the barbecue. But let me tell you something. But barbecuing, I was honestly grilling is really good for your food. You know what I'm saying? It's just the extras that we put in our foods, like we throw the ham hocks and in our greens and our peas, and we want to throw the extra fat back in there, and you know all the extra bacon, But if we pull back on some of that, you can still eat like that. Just do it in moderation. How good we eat on the holidays. Every holiday we eat good. So holidays, maybe once on the weekend or whatnot, that's relatively cool. But throughout the week, you want to keep yourself in check, and watch and watch what you eat. But it most definitely don't happen overnight. It's something that takes time. For some people, they got to have a health scare in order for them to start eating healthy or start taking care of themselves. But a lot of us though, sometimes we don't get that health scare. Sometimes it just hit us and we don't even know because there's so many of us that suffer from diabetes and got high blood pressure walking around with it. And we don't even know. And boom, it just hit us one day. Next thing you know, you wake up in the house, you in diabetic coma or something. They may end up having to amputate your leg or whatever. Because we don't take care of ourselves. We don't go get checkups like we should. But that's a whole nother subject. Because I think that's just part of the government's master plan anyway. You know what I'm saying? They want us ill and sick. And that's why I do what I do, and I try to help out whoever I can. Even if they got a lot of money or a little bit of money, whatever knowledge I can give them, I try to help them out because, man, I'm telling you, the government don't want us healthy. They want us all sick. They want us all to have issues and problems,
I feel you on that, man. Y'all know I be on my Black Power shit heavy, but my mom suffers from diabetes. I'm not gonna say suffers. She has the disease or the dis-ease of diabetes, but she is very disciplined. I seen her change. That health scare is what changed my mom and made her start taking care of herself better than what she was and exercising. Like I look at my mom, my mom in her 70s, probably in better shape than most females my age. I'm not lying. And she got that health scare and that changed her life. As far as that, hypertension runs in my family. My mom has it, my dad has it, my oldest sister has it. Like it's real bad. And you not lying about that health scare. It takes a health scare for, especially in the black community. And I'm not trying to put a blanket statement over the whole black community, but what I've seen is niggas don't get their shit right until they find out that they almost died or they was about to die. And for all the listeners listening out here, like this is a street platform. So if you gonna hear some talk that don't, let's not act like you never heard it before. And this is for our people. We're welcoming everybody. We're welcoming. Whether you white, black, purple. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I don't see color, because the first thing people do when they say they don't see color is they be like, "Oh, I don't see color. I don't care if you black, yellow, purple. Those are colors, fool. Shut up. You sound stupid." But we don't care, who you are. But we gonna talk how we gonna talk. I'm gonna talk how I'm gonna talk, and we all just gonna get along. But back to the topic at hand, the dietetics, and like you said, adding the extras and and whatnot. What are some things, what are some of your proudest moments of seeing, maybe having a client that, started, from one extreme and now you see them and they're at another extreme?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I keep a my some of my clients allow me to tell their stories, some of them don't. So I'm not gonna use names, but we're not gonna name drop, but they know who they are. And a lot of people know some of these clients, but I've actually had two clients, two female clients, both had cancer. Um and we beat the cancer simply by changing their diet. We made the body an alkaline environment. And what that means is, obviously, we made sure that they drank a real good clean pH water, with a good pH balance, none of that cheap water, you know. Yeah, they got videos going around about that, and hey, I'm from Detroit, so the water in Michigan, Flint's still dealing with bad water. They giving them water that's coming out brown and yellow. You know what I'm saying. So that water intake is very, very, very important. But we made their bodies an alkaline environment. So we started putting more greens in their diet. Kale, spinach, collard greens, turnip greens. A lot of people don't realize greens got a lot of B vitamins and a lot of alkalines in it, and they detoxes, beets, honestly, we really just changed their diets to the natural stuff that God gave us. One of them even started smoking weed, and she ain't never smoked weed in her life.
Hell yeah.
But we had to find a way, and that's what she started doing. The government, they know that weed is a good thing. I personally don't smoke. I have before in the past, but currently I don't. But for her, this is something that we actually had to do. And both of them, their cancers went into remission. And they walk around, they living healthy, they living fine. They still in the gym every day working out. They spreading their knowledge with other people, and it's beautiful, man. And that right there is what makes what I do, so great, for me. And it makes it such a great feeling. Besides the income, is when you can pass that kind of knowledge on to people, and then they can pass that on to the next person. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't realize, the late Dr. Sebi, that's what he used to try to do. But everybody want to say he crazy. You know what I'm saying? He don't know what he talking about. Oh, he crazy. He's sick in the head, And it's like, hey, it may seem like it got a little bit of madness behind it, but trust me, it works. You know what I'm saying? The information that he was providing was true, and I used a lot of his things, even though they don't even utilize anything that he used to preach when you go to school in dietetics. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. And that's what I'm saying. There's a difference between going to get that certification, but yet then going and studying under people that's very successful and people that got the knowledge, got the extra knowledge, that you can't read in a book. You know what I'm saying? That's like history. We don't get real history taught in school. No. You know what I'm saying? They leave everything out. They leave everything out of there. All the important stuff is out of there. They just put in the stuff that they want us to know. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing in dietetics, man. It's a lot of food, soul food in general. A lot of the vegetables that we actually eat in our culture really do alkaline the body, and it's really good for the body. We just got to be careful with the things that we add with it. But yeah, man, that's probably my greatest moment is getting their bodies in remission, after being diagnosed with cancer.
That was an incredible story. My dad had prostate cancer. He's been in remission about 10 years. One of the things that he did, he didn't change his eating habits. He still eat like a Southern Negro. He ain't changed them habits, but he started exercising. Yeah. And he started, running and walking miles a day, and doing little exercises here and there. And one of the things too is, and I'll never forget this, man. And I love my dad. I feel like my dad is the greatest person in the world. But I tell you some shiesty stuff right here. I had got orders to go to Korea, and it's not. I don't want to say shiesty. He did it out of love, but I had got orders to go to Korea in 2007, and I got them in 2006. I was leaving in 2006, and this was November 2006, and he's dropping me off at the airport. Now my family knew, they didn't tell me.
Right.
So we get ready to go to the airport. Now I'm about to be on the plane for 20-some odd hours. My dad drops me off at the airport, and he's like, "Oh, by the way, I got prostate cancer."
Yeah.
Turned my world upside down. And one of the things he asked me though, he said, because he comes to me a lot for the most extreme things, he will. He said, "What do you think I should do?" And the first thing I told him was, "Don't fuck with that chemo.
Yeah.
That ain't for us.
Yeah.
It's not for us. It'll kill you." And another thing about the health industry and the drug industry is when they do these experiments, man, and they test these drugs, they do these on white mice. White mice are void of melanin. So the effects that it would have on somebody who has melanin, or if they use black mice or darker mice, they're not sure what it would do to them. So a lot of these things that you see in the health industry are done on things void of melanin. They really don't know what it will do to us.
Right.
But after years and years of them doing these things to us, we find out that shit ain't for us. Right. And so I told my dad, I said, let's try to do this the natural way. And he beat it natural. And I say that to say this: fuck cancer. And I like to say congrats on changing those two people's lives and having them in remission. That's a beautiful thing. And I also like to say something about Sebi. Dr. Sebi was not crazy. Anybody out there that thinks he was, I think you need to do your research.
Don't know him, Google him.
Google Dr. Sebi. We know. People in the hood know. Conscious community know. Even your old, your Carlton Banks ass black folks know. Your uppity black folks. They know who he was. He took on to the Supreme Court. The motherfucker walked in the courtroom barefooted and beat these cats.
and also had people that had AIDS and cured them of AIDS. And that's why the medical department, our federal government, tried to imprison him, because he was treating people with AIDS and they beat it. They don't have AIDS no more.
Yes.
That's why we still got people walking around here with AIDS today.
Documented. That's documented facts. That's documented facts. He has a good book and good lectures on YouTube if you want to look up Dr. Sebi. It's called Eat to Live, Live to Eat. Excellent book. You can find a whole lecture he did at some university, and I don't want you to quote me on it. I can't remember where he did it at, but it's a whole breakdown, like an hour and a half long. It's good information that everybody should have, not just black, white, whatever. I have to re-emphasize that because a lot of folks think that I be on that black power stuff so heavy that they think that I don't like people of other races. I just tell the truth, and a lot of folks don't like to hear the truth. Like when he was talking about they don't teach us the right things in school. And, it was so funny that Christopher Columbus Day just passed, but fuck that nigga. And everybody's changing it to Indigenous Peoples Day. And I remember years ago I was telling people I didn't mess with Columbus. I got posts that can prove this. And I had homies and homegirls, black folks like, "Oh, you wrong," and all this other stuff. Those same people I saw last week on the fuck Columbus bandwagon. I was like, but y'all told me I was crazy years ago when I said, history is bullshit.
That's Donald Trump's cousin. Christopher Columbus, that's Donald Trump's cousin.
Right. He just discovered a whole continent of motherfuckers that was there before him. That's a shame. But anyway, we'll go on our education system. We'll get on that on another show. Um, as far as you know, the dietetics, and we've talked about what made you get into this industry and the lives that you've touched. You know, your own personal journey as far as, you know, after you started working out. Because now, you know, people will look at you and think that happened overnight. When I know for sure you didn't get that big overnight. And, you know, a lot of folks try to throw the salt in the game and say, oh, these people are juicing or whatever. But I know that you compete, and I know that they check folks for that. And I know I've been to Metroflex for a year. I haven't seen any foul shit in there. Not my own personal. I haven't even heard rumblings of it. And I've been there a year, and my ears to everything. I haven't heard anything about that. Now, as far as, you know, your regimen, you know, and what you've been through, how did you get to where you're at now?
Um, you know, a lot of people don't realize I've been, like I said, you know, 2009, and that's when I really started working out. So you talking about 7 years of consistent training and dieting, at least training 6 days a week, making sure I'm eating, you know, 6, sometimes 8 times a day, you know, for the last 7 years. You know what I mean? So, and yeah, it doesn't happen overnight, you know. And a lot of times, you know, when you get the negative things, when people say, oh, you know, well, she used steroids or he used steroids or whatever the case is, and that's why they look like that. A lot of times that's people just discrediting those people because they don't have the discipline to do what they see them doing. Instead, they'll rather go buy a corset and wrap their body up in a corset and think that it's gonna make fat fall off, or you know, they want to go buy the magic pill that they see on late night TV. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I feel you on that. Hey, man, I started at 160, 162 when I got with Jay Warren, and now I'm at 190, 191. When I was starting my journey, man, after maybe 6 months, I had my own homeboys hitting me up and like, man, dude, you on steroids. Nah.
Yeah, and yeah, a lot of people, they, you know, and that's, you know, that's just, you know, that's just them just discrediting people. A lot of people don't realize, man, you know, when it comes to dietetics, you know, just nutrition, period, you know, the body is 70% water, you know, and when you think about that, just, I mean, logically think about that. Your body is more than, you know, it's more than 50% of your body is water. You know, so if you're at least drinking water like you're supposed to, you know, as well as eat properly like you're supposed to, you know, your body, and you training, your body is gonna grow. You know what I mean? That's, you know, the human body is the greatest piece of science on earth. You know what I mean? Because our bodies are capable of so much, you know, and a lot of people just, you know, they don't have the I'm not gonna say the confidence, but a lot of times they just don't have the right circle. They're not around the right people to motivate them to take care of themselves.
They don't have the vision to see into the future.
Exactly. You know,
Without
so
cheating.
right. You know, and that's where the saying comes is, you know, if you can't be around like-minded people, you better off just being by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Instead of being around negative people that's just gonna try to hold you back, hold you down. Misery love company. You know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to get in shape and all your friends is overweight, you might have a real difficult time trying to lose some weight. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't want to lose weight. So they're gonna try to talk you down and do whatever they can say, you know, possible, you know, to keep you from doing what you want to do. You know, so you just gotta keep yourself around like-minded, positive people. You know, don't be afraid to pick people's brains. Don't get me wrong. You know, you got a lot of people that get in shape and they real arrogant. They don't want to share none of they little tricks or tips or whatnot. They just tell you, you know, just do this or do that, or, you know, they may not even answer any of your questions. But like I said, you know, I gave y'all my info. Y'all can hit me up, like I said, at I am Jay Warren on Instagram, or email me at jwarrenathletics@gmail.com. I don't have no problem answering questions. You know, I may not answer your question right away. You know, Pat will tell you, you can text me You may not get a text back for a couple of hours, maybe a day or two. You know what I'm saying? Cause man, yeah, cause I'm in the gym from sun up to sundown. Then I'm home, on the computer with online clients, still trying to spend time with my family, So, but I will answer your question though. I will get to it and I will answer it.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy P.A.T. Hey man, if you a traveler, if you into aviation, you like planes, man, I got a clothing line for you. It's called Runway Boys. www.runwayboys.com. That's BOYZ at the end. Say, make sure when you stop by runwayboys.com, man, at checkout you put the promo code P.A.T. for 10% off, man. That's capital P, capital A, capital T. The discount's on me. Okay, another question that people might want to know, because I guess something that I hear a lot since I've been back on the workout scene, I guess you could say, is do you believe in breaking down your workouts, over a period of time? Like, let's say you go Monday to Saturday or whatever. Do you prefer to work on one muscle group at a time, or do you split it down into like maybe back and biceps, or would you say it's better to split the muscle groups up?
Yeah. Honestly, it depends on the person and their goals. Some people, I do have them just train one muscle group a day. I mean, you've been training with me a long time now, so it's times that we didn't train 2 muscle groups. Sometimes we didn't train 3. Sometimes we did a total body workout. You know what I'm saying? So I like to mix it up, so that the body can adapt. But if you have a person trying to build muscle, most definitely, add more size. I like to do one muscle group at a time, per day, to get that body part some rest, continue to feed it so it'll grow. People that's trying to cut down, trying to lose some body fat, we probably gonna train 2 or 3 body parts a day and do some conditioning, and we may do that, 3 or 4 times a week, So it really depends on the person and their goals, and that's why, when people just, ask people, well, what did you do? And they can tell you what they did, but that don't necessarily mean that it's gonna work for you, especially if your goal is different than theirs, So, and like I said, once again, that's when it comes to getting with, a trainer or someone that has experience, and not someone that just went online and took a course and now they call themselves a certified personal trainer. Because yeah, exactly. Because the same thing does not work for everybody. Everyone's body is different. Some people respond better to some movements. Some people respond, or some people don't respond, to certain things, So, it in the beginning with a lot of people, sometimes it's a little trial and error. It takes a few weeks to kind of learn, try to figure their bodies out and what they're doing. If they're being honest as far as, them eating properly and things like that. But for the most part, though, most trainers, they figure it out pretty quick.
All right, and that sounds like another skill that a personal trainer. That sounds like something that they can't teach, is you being able to feel things out as it goes when you deal with different people and different body types. I'm not sure if that's something that they teach, or if that's something. It seems like the way that you put it, that's just something a trainer has to do on their own. They have to understand, okay, I got this person. They're different from this next person that I got at 3 o'clock, and I got this person at 4 o'clock, and you just got to keep all that stuff in your head and know what's going on. That's amazing. That sounds like that's a gift more than something that somebody can teach you.
It's most definitely is not taught. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing a lot of people don't realize, if you take a trainer such as myself, when I'm training people from 8 in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, I'm dealing with all these different personalities as well. So the personalities change. So I have to motivate different people differently. Some people I got to yell at. Some people I got to talk calmly to. Some people I got to get hood with, like my boy Eddie. I got to get real hood with Eddie. I try to be nice to him. He look at me like I'm crazy. I call him all kind of motherfuckers. Then he want to work. You know what I mean? So, it's just, and that's just how it is. And other clients look like, oh, I've never heard you speak like that before. You ain't got to worry about that. He do. I got to talk to him like that. I don't have to talk to you like that, but I got to talk to him like that. So yeah, the motivation is different for different people. And that's most definitely a gift. You can't have the same exact training style with every single person. Some people gonna get extremely bored with you and they gonna step off and leave, but it's your responsibility as a trainer to know what it takes to motivate people or what to do and get them going. Some people get so comfortable to when they don't even like for you to talk to them. They just want to know what's next. You tell them what to do and they own it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you almost to that point. You know what I'm saying? You just like, hey, what's next? You know what I'm saying? And I tell you what to do and you over there, boom, hey, that's 4 steps. What's happening? What's next? And some people, they get like that, and that just goes to show that they picking up that knowledge. And now, they at the point to when they ready to go on their own. A grown man don't live with his mama all his life. Well, some do when they don't grow up, when they in their second childhood. But, but yeah, but, when they, once they figure everything out, they ready to leave the house. They ready to leave the house. It's the same thing with training, and then they, like I said, and that's what makes it beautiful. When you train people, when you teach them and you educate them, they can move on and pass that information on to other people. Because that's what information is about. It ain't no good if you keep it to yourself. You got to share it and spread it and pass it on to other people, and that's what makes us all better,
Most definitely. And sometimes when you run off on your own and you get that knowledge, every once in a while you got to come back home. Because I done that. I done left, and then I feel like I reached a plateau. So I'm like, let me get back on these sessions. Let me get back on these sessions. Let me learn some more stuff. And then I go back on my own, and then I come back. And like you said, it depends on what the person wants to do. Because when I first got in, I just wanted to get in shape. Then I got to the point where I was in shape. Then I was like, all right, I want to put on some muscle. Now we were working on where I'm trying to put on some muscle. Now I'm like, my midsection is still up. We know because I be on that beard, that good old beard, heavy. But I don't want y'all to get this picture in y'all head that like I just got a big old belly. So I don't. My belly just won't go away because of the activities I like to partake in. And I say that to say, fuck you if you judging me. Not just no, but for real, it is great to spread that knowledge on because a lot of people need it. And like you were saying, dealing with those different personalities and people reacting to different things in different ways, different stimulus in different ways, that's definitely a gift. And, it's like being, when we were in the military, you got to deal with all these different types of personalities and navigate through all these people all day and know what buttons not to press and how to react to different people. It's crazy. And I'm sure that, being in the military definitely helps you adjust to having to do that with the clients. Well, we talked about the muscle groups and whatnot. And another question would be that I know that people would like to, or that I think people would like to know about is, what do you think about these definitions about, people say, oh, I'm a hard gainer, or they say I'm big boned, I can't lose weight. And I ain't never seen a skeleton with big bones, so I don't even believe in that. But what do you think about when people say those certain things? To me, I think they just sound like excuses. Even though I have heard that being a hard gainer is a thing, but I think that discipline will get rid of that myth. That's just me personally. But I'm not the expert, you are.
Right. Yeah, it's with hard gainers, it's just like you got to think of yourself being water trying to cut through a piece of stone. You know what I'm saying? Water going to sit on that stone. It's going to sit on that stone. It may sit on that stone for years, but eventually it's going to crack that stone and get right through it. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is if you're a hard gainer, you got to be persistent. You can't eat a lot or eat how you're supposed to eat for 2 days and then be like, oh, I'm not gaining no weight. It may take you 2 years. You see what I'm saying? The name of the game really is persistence, when it comes to the hard gainers. And for people that don't know what hard gainers are, those are relatively small people that have a really hard time putting on muscle or gaining weight because they have a high metabolism, or they're just naturally small people. But the thing is you can build muscle. You may not gain a lot of weight, but they're capable of building more muscle. You just got to be more persistent and be patient. I mean, damn, the internet make us so damn impatient nowadays, but most definitely you just got to be patient, be persistent and stay on it, and as far as the term, for people that can't lose weight and they say, well, big bones run in my family. No, big bones don't run in your family. You know what I'm saying? You just picked up a lot of hereditary traits in your family, such as your diet habits. A lot of people don't realize that diet habits are hereditary. If you grew up in your family, like you were saying earlier, from the South, we eat a lot of soul food, so I mean, in our culture, that's just natural. That's, it's a given, but, being big bone is not, most definitely not a true, true statement. Now, some bones, you may have a little bit more bone density. Your hips may be spread a little wider because your hips aren't as narrow. And for some people that make them think that they big bone, but they not big bone. They still got small bones like other people do. They just may be a little bit more dense, or their hips are just spread a little bit wider than others, but most definitely they can lose the weight. But same thing like the hard gainer is persistence. You just got to keep going. You can't stop. You got to be persistent. Be patient, and like I said, put yourself around like-minded people, other people that have some of the same goals as you do, and that energy. Keep yourself around a lot of that positive energy, because that positive energy goes a long way, further than we know. And in our culture, it's more negative energy than positive energy. We already got negative energy coming from other cultures, and then we create more negative energy amongst ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So trying to get around positive energy is real difficult for us, but it doesn't have to be that way. We gotta be more positive, around and with each other, most definitely.
That's definite, man. I always say, man, invest in strangers, man, because the people who know you ain't gonna support you for shit. Most of the time, they not. They not gonna want to support you till you get on.
Yeah.
And when you get on and running, and you looking good, your stuff is building, you starting to get press, media coverage. Your podcast is number one. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to put that in the future. And and you on, then everybody gonna be like, oh, I always mess with old buddy, man. I knew he was gonna make it. And most of the time, old buddy who you said you was rooting for, no, you was a fucking lie. But hey, we accept bandwagon members. As long as they pay their fee, you can jump on the bandwagon and hitch a ride. We ain't tripping. But definitely, one thing in our culture that we do have a problem with is supporting each other. But it's getting better in these different communities. I know as far as the conscious community goes, I see it all the time. They, the conscious folks, the folks that's on game, they sticking together. And the thing about us sticking together though, that sometimes may look bad, is because we talk so much shit about these sleepwalking motherfuckers out here. But that ain't gonna stop, because like you said, some people need a different type of reinforcement. You said your boy don't respond when you be all nice to him. You gotta tell him to get his motherfucking ass in gear. Right. Well, I want to say to these people out here that sleep, you need to wake your motherfucking asses up, man. Because it's a war going on. It's been going on.
It's crazy you say that, because let me tell you something about some of these sleepwalkers, and this the crazy thing. I just saw a news report from a doctor at the CDC just openly admitted that white supremacist groups paid them to give vaccinations to black babies under 36 months to increase their risk for autism. Think about that. And this has been going on since 2004.
The white lady on the little thing, she there was some white, older white woman.
She was talking in the beginning about it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know, and when you think about that, you know, and people just like, well, it ain't happened to my baby, so I don't care. That's not the point. You know what I'm saying? It's a war. It's a war on everybody. You know, I mean, think about that. Since 2004. So if you had a baby after 2004, they was trying to give your child autism, a bad vaccination to give him autism.
Especially if it was of the Negro variety.
Yeah, you know, so you know, people, you know, you really got to wake up and educate yourself. You know what I mean? And what I mean by educate yourself, I'm not saying go on the internet and believe everything that you read. When I say educate yourself, go talk to people with experience. Talk to people that's doing well. More likely they gonna be, you know, or talk to some people in the conscious community. You know, don't be afraid to ask questions. I never understood why people are afraid to ask questions. You know, I don't understand what the fear behind it is. You know, but don't be afraid to ask questions. None of us know everything, but the thing is if we don't know, some of us, we know where to go get the answers, and that's what's important. You know, as long as you know where to go get the answers at, you know. But most definitely, y'all gotta wake up. You know, because if you don't wake up, you're gonna find yourself in a situation, and you ain't gonna have nowhere to turn to at all. So yeah, most definitely, you gotta wake up.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I guess we're gonna have some final thoughts on this here interview. I guess it was more of just hanging out and just chopping it up. I mean, the environment. We just sitting here in the studio, recording our conversation, basically, and you know, in marketing and promoting to get the word out about who we are and what we do, and what we can provide, and you know, what can we do to help society. What can we do to help humans, the human culture, the human race? I hope that y'all have heard some things. Hope some lights have been sparked in some brains, you know. And if you had some false thoughts on things, I hope those been rearranged. I just freestyled on that one right there, and that rhyme. I'm a poet and I ain't even know it. I guess, you know, after all we've said today, you know, about the fitness and, you know, about the origins of where Jay Warren comes from, and about health and about the community and about waking up, and, you know, and about just eating right, and basically just taking care of yourself, man. Take care of yourself, man. You only get one life. You only get one body. We got to do better. We got to take care of ourselves, man. And you know, that's some final thoughts from me, and we're gonna get some final thoughts from Jay right here.
And not to interrupt you, Pat, but that's the whole thing about being awake. Everyone that's awake, you know, we treat our body. We realize that our bodies are temples. You see what I'm saying? Your body is a temple. You got to treat it as such. You know, you have to treat your body like a temple. You have to live in it. So you shouldn't want to be walking around feeling ill, feeling sick. Don't get me wrong, you know, you live life up. Go celebrate when you have an accomplishment. Don't celebrate for nothing. You know what I'm saying? That's what some of we want to celebrate and we ain't even did nothing. Have a reason to celebrate, you know, if you're going to celebrate. You know, but realize, you know, your body is a temple, you know, and the people that's awake, they understand that. You know, and that's what keeps them alert and keeps them focused and understand everything that's going on around them. You know, when you sleepwalkers, you don't realize what's going on around you, you know, and a lot of times it's right in front of your face and you don't even see it because you're sleepwalking, you know. So definitely, you know, understand, you know, that's the whole thing about being awake, you know, is, you know, realize that your body is a temple, especially our Black women. Y'all got to understand that. You know, you are number one. You are the most important thing, being human precious. You are the most priceless thing on this planet Earth. Seriously. And a lot of you really don't know that. And I know a lot of you do know that. But you are priceless. The most precious thing on earth. The most valuable thing on earth. And I'm dead serious about that. All right? Y'all remember that. I'm going to be back, though, with my boy Pat, though. I'm going to be back. I don't know when, but we going to be back. And we going to have the camera and we going to record it so y'all can actually see us, too.
Yeah. Yeah, we had some technical difficulties. I don't know what was going on with the camera, but it ain't no big deal. No big deal yet. But he is going to come back, though, definitely. And we're going to have a recording for y'all, some video. We in the early stages of this podcast game. I'm just now starting. I've been inspired by, Tax Stone, Noriega, Joe Budden, Marissa Explains It All, Combat Jack, Drink Champs. I don't know if I said that already, but all y'all have inspired me to do this. And me being an independent artist, man, I think that this is a good way for me to get my message out. And also it's a good way to get people, different perspectives on different things. Because we're going to talk about everything from fitness to hip hop, man. We're going to talk about it all. That's why it's the Urban Renaissance, man. And I like to, end this episode with this quote right here. The minute people recognize that you've gained the ability to solve your own problems, they will soon be asking you to solve their problems too. Signing out. P.A.T. and J1. Hey man, you want to stay in touch with me? This is how you find me. On Instagram, it's PATB817. Same thing on Snapchat, PATB817. Twitter, mental_floss817. mental_floss817. And if you want to come to the Facebook fan page, it's facebook.com/GOAT918. GOAT 918. Same thing on YouTube. Hey man, check out the music that I make, man. It's well appreciated, man. I definitely salute you for that. So you can find me at all your major digital retailers, all your little hole-in-the-wall digital retailers that other folks don't even know about. I'm in there too. Make sure you subscribe to my Pandora channel.